topic for today is about solving quadratic equation by extracting square roots. Kailan ba natin dapat gamitin ang extracting square roots? We are going to use extracting square roots if and only if the given quadratic equation is in the form of ax squared plus c is equal to 0. As you can see in our given quadratic equation, there is no linear term. So, dyan mo lang magagamit si extracting square roots. So, please take note of that. Before we go with our main topic, let us have a review of simplifying square roots. We are going to find the square roots of the given number. For example, we have here square root of 4. What would be the square root of 4? So, for us to find the square root of 4, think a number na pag minultiply mo sa kanyang sarili, ang sagot niya ay 4. So, we have here 2. Diba? If you multiply 2 times 2, the answer is 4. Therefore, the square root of 4 is 2. So, yun lang yan. So, pwede ditong positive. And then, also negative. Why positive and negative? If you have a positive 2, then you are going to square it. The answer is positive 4. So, we have correct. If you have negative 2 and you are going to square it, the answer is also a positive 4. Correct. So, therefore, the square root of a number should be a positive and a negative. Next, we have square root of 25. Think a number, if you are going to multiply the number by itself, the answer is 25. Yes, the answer here is 5. If you are going to multiply 5 times 5, the answer is 25. So, therefore, it should be positive and negative 5. So, dapat ganun lagi. Kapag ikay kumukuha ng square of a number, lagyan mo siya lagi ng positive and negative. Kasi both of them are correct. Next tayo, square root of 100. So, we have here a positive and negative 10. That is it. 10 times 10, we have here 100. How about 50? Square root of 50. So, meron ka bang dalawang number na naiisip na kapag minultiply mo sa kanyang sarili, ang sagot ay 50? Wala. Because 50 is not a perfect square. Since 50 is not a perfect square, you are going to find factors of 50 na ang isa ay perfect square. So, that is the process. Find na two numbers na pag minultiply mo, yung isang factor niya is a perfect square. Okay, so what are those numbers? So, dito, pwede si 25 multiplied by 2. If you multiply 25 times 2, the answer is 50. Tama? Since 25 is a perfect square, pwede natin kuhanin yung kanyang square root. So, what would be the square root of 25? We have here 5. So, the answer here is positive and negative. Square root of 25 is 5. Lagay mo dyan yung 5. Then, yung 2 sa loob pa rin ni square root. Kasi wala siyang, you cannot simplify square root of 2. So, the answer is positive and negative 5 square root of 2. Did you get it? Next tayo, square root of 27. So, 27 is not a perfect square. Therefore, think a number na ang isa ay perfect square at yung isa ay hindi. Okay. So, we have here 9 times 3. If you multiply 9 times 3, the answer is 27. 9 is a perfect square, right? So, ngayon, kuhanin mo ngayon ang square root ni 9. So, we have here positive and negative. Square root ni 9, we have here 3. Then, this one, kopyahin mo lang, square root of 3. That is it. Then, next, let us have square root of 32. So, si square root of 32 ay not also a perfect square. Therefore, find two factors na ang isa ay perfect square. So, we have here 16 multiplied by 2. 16 times 2, the answer is 32. So, what is the square root of 16? The answer here is 4. We have here positive and negative 4 square root of 2. We're done. That is it. Ma'am, paano kung hindi ko naisip yung 16 agad? Ang naisip ko po ay 4. 4 and 8. Pwede. What if 4 and 8 nga yung naisip mo? So, sa square root of 32, ang naisip mo ay square root of 4 times 8. If you multiply 4 times 8, the answer dito is 32 pa din. Yes, correct. So, find the square root of 4. We have here 2 square root of 8. Yun nga lang si 8 po pwede pa, which is 4 and 2. So, we have here, erase muna natin to. We have here 2, then square root of, factors mo pa yung 8, 4 times 2. Then, si 4, square root mo, we have 2. Yung 2 na nasa, yung square root ni 4, which is 2, multiply mo dun. Ang magiging sagot pa rin ay 4 square root of 2. Positive and negative. Parehas pa din. Okay? Yun nga lang dito, naisip mo na agad yung yung greatest common factor na ang isa ay perfect square. Is it clear? Ma'am, paano po kapag square root of 10? Kapag square root of 10, as you can see, wala na siyang factors na ang isa ay perfect square. Ang factors niya lang kasi ay 1 and 10, 5 and 2. They are not perfect square. Therefore, ang factors na may perfect square lang is 1 and 10. Eh, pag kinuha mo yung square root ng 1, ay 1 pa din. So, 1 square root of 10. So, ang labas pa rin ay square root of 10. So, square root of 10 na yung pinaka-answer mo. Is it clear? So, that is how we simplify square root. So, review lang yan. Now, let's move with solving quadratic equation by using extracting square root. So, itong pinag-aralan natin na to, i-apply na natin dito. Now, let's move with quadratic equation by extracting square roots. Number 1, we have here x squared minus 4 is equals to 0. As you can see, it is in the form of ax squared minus c is equals to 0. So, we can now find it by using extracting square roots. But how? So, if your given is like this one, you are going to transpose the constant term to the other side. So, we have x squared, just copy x squared, then it is equal to, si negative 4 becomes positive 4. So, 0 plus 4 is positive 4. And then, afterwards, you are going to square root both sides. Square root both sides. Para mawala yung squared mo dito. Cancelled out, cancelled out. So, matitira na lang, we have here x is equal to. Now, what is the square root of 4? So, ang square root ni 4 is positive and negative 2. We're done. That is it. So, ganun lang kasimple sa extracting square roots. Next tayo. We have here 4x squared minus 8 is equal to 0. Again, si constant term, lagay mo sa right side. Laging ganun, ha? Kapag ang constant term mo ay kasama ni quadratic term, lagay mo lagi si constant term sa right side. So, matitira dito ay si 4x squared is equal to, si negative 8 becomes positive 8. Then, what you are going to do, divide mo muna siya both sides by 4. Tandaan niya na, kailangan mawala muna yung numerical coefficient ni x squared. Then, cancelled out. Then, ang matitira na lang dito ay si x squared kasi magiging 1 na yan. So, it is equal to 8 divided by 4, the answer is 2. Then, square root both side. Square root, cancelled, squared, then square root na. Ang matitira na lang dito ay si x. So, it is equal to, ang square root ni 2, wala na. Therefore, ang sagot ay positive and negative square root of 2. That is it. So, ganun lang kasimple ang extracting square roots. Let us have more examples. Number 3, let us solve for x. We have here 3x squared is equals to 27. As you can see, si constant term ay nasa right side na. So, ang gagawin na lang natin, we are going to divide both sides by 3 na lang. By 3. So, cancelled out na yung 3. So, matitira na lang ay si x squared is equal to, you are going to divide. 27 divided by 3, the answer is 9. Afterwards, square root both sides. Square root. Cancelled out, cancelled out. So, your x should be positive and negative 3. That is it. We're done. Diba, madali lang? Next tayo. We have here, x squared minus 20 is equals to 5. As you can see, meron pa tayong constant term dito na kailangan mo ilipat sa kabilang side. Kaya, it becomes x squared is equal to, just copy 5. 5. Negative becomes positive, so plus 20. 5 plus 20, the answer is 25. So, this one becomes x squared is equals to 25. So, square root both side, canceled out. So, the answer here is x is equal to positive and negative 5. So, wag kakalimutan yung positive and negative 5. Kaya po yan squared, meaning any of them, kahit positive or negative ang substitute mo dyan, magiging ang sagot ay 5. Naintindihan? Tingnan nyo. We have here positive 5. 5 squared if you are going to check. So, we have 5 squared, the answer is 25. 25 minus 20, the answer is 5. Naintindihan? Next tayo, dito, 3. So, substitute 3 to x. 3 squared is 9. 9 times 3, the answer is 27. Did you get it? Next, let us have number 5. We have here 5x squared minus 100 is equals to 0. If this is the case, you are going to transpose negative 100 to the other side. Negative 100. So, this one is 5x squared is equal to 100. Positive 100. Afterwards, you are going to divide it by 5. By 5, by 5. Cancel out yung 5. So, ang matitira na lang ay si x squared is equal to, you are going to divide 100 divided by 5, the answer is 20. Then, afterwards, square root mo both side. Cancelled out, cancelled out. So, we have here x is equal to. Si 20 is not a perfect square. Therefore, we are going to think na numbers that 1 factors is a perfect square. We have positive and negative square root of 4 times 5. Pag minultiply mo 4 times 5, the answer is 20 and 4 is a perfect square. So, may simplify natin si 4. Square root ng 4, we have here 2. Yung 2 labas mo. So, x is equals to positive and negative 2. Then, maiwan si 5, square root of 5. So, ang square root ni 20 ay positive and negative 2, square root of 5. We're done. Is it clear? Now, let us have more difficult examples. Number 6. We have x squared minus 54 is equal to 0. So, we are going to transpose the constant term to the other side. So, it becomes x squared is equals to positive 54. Square root both side para mawala si squared at square root. So, it left here x is equal to positive and negative. Si 54, siya ay pwedeng i-factors, but it is not a perfect square. So, ang factor niya is 9 times 6. Okay? So, si 9 is a perfect square. So, therefore, we have your x is equal to square root ni 9. The answer is positive and negative 3 square root of 6. So, that is it. So, that's your answer. Next tayo. What if we have imaginary numbers? So, sino nga ba si imaginary numbers? So, nagkakaroon tayo ng imaginary numbers if and only if the square root, the radicand has a negative numbers in a square root sign. Alright? So, kapag yung square root meron sa loob na negative numbers, magkakaroon tayo ng imaginary numbers. So, this one, square root of negative 1. So, hindi na real numbers to, no? So, complex na to. Complex numbers na ang tawag sa kanya kapag imaginary. Okay? So, for example, we have your square root of negative 1. Ang square root of negative 1, yan ay I na. I na ang sagot dyan. Meaning, imaginary numbers. Okay? So, we have here I. Square root of negative 1 is equivalent to I. Next, if you have square root of negative 4, yung negative na yan, laging I ang katumbas niyan. So, if you are going to find for the square root of 4, ang sagot dyan ay 2. Should be positive and negative din. Ang sagot dyan ay 2. Then, yung negative, we have here I. Alright? So, that is it. So, we have here I. Kapag x na, positive and negative ulit yan. So, dito muna tayo sa walang positive and negative. So, we have here 2i. Okay? Next tayo. Square root of negative 25. So, we have here 5i. We're done. How about negative 20? So, we have here, so since 20 is not a perfect square, kailangan natin i-factor yan. So, yung negative, labas mo na. That is I. Square root of 5 times 4. Tama? Or 4 times 5. Unahin ko yung perfect square. 4 times 5. Then, the square root of 4 is 2. So, the answer is 2i. Kailangan laging nauna yung numerical. Kasi square root ng 4 ay 2. 2 times I is 2i. Then, square root of 5. That is it. Okay? So, ganun kapag naman imaginary numbers, ang negative ay nagiging I. Is it clear? Now, let us have number 7. X squared plus 36. So, if you are going to transpose 36 to the other side, it becomes negative. So, we have here, 0 yan. Equals to 0 yan. So, we have here x squared is equal to negative 36. Then, if you are going to find the square root of both sides, cancelled out. So, you have here x. So, we have here a square root of a negative numbers. Therefore, magkakaroon tayo ng imaginary numbers. So, since 36 is a perfect square, the answer is positive and negative 6i. Okay? So, lagi ulit na may positive and negative. Is it clear? Let us have number 8. Another examples tayo. Number 8. 4x squared plus 36 is equals to 0. Again, the constant term must be at the right side. So, you are going to transpose. So, we have now 4x squared, then positive becomes negative is equal to negative 36. Since may 4 ka pa dyan, divide mo muna by both sides, but by 4. So, 4 divided by 4 is 1. So, we have here it left x squared is equal to the negative 36 divided by 4. The answer is negative 9. If you find the square root of this one, cancel out yung squared. So, you have here x. It is equal to positive and negative. Since we have here the square root of the number has a negative, therefore, the answer is 3i. We're done. Positive and negative 3i. Next tayo. We have here 3x squared. 3x squared plus 90 is equals to 0. So, first, we are going to transpose 90 to the other side. So, it becomes 3x squared is equal to negative 90. Divide both sides by 3 para ring number 8. Then, canceled out. Then, we have here x squared is equal to 90 divided by 3. The answer is negative 30. So, square root mo both sides, square root both sides, canceled out. So, we have here x. If you find factors of 30, na ang isa ay perfect square, ay wala. So, therefore, yung I na lang yung labas natin, yung negative. So, the answer is positive and negative I. Ang matitira dito ay square root of 30. We're done. So, that is it. Okay? Next tayo, number 10. 10x squared plus 180 is equals to 20. So, yung constant, lipat mo sa kabilang side. So, we have here 10x squared is equal to, just copy 20. Si 180, it becomes 180. Negative 180. So, 10x squared is equal to 20 minus 180. We have here negative 160. Divide both sides by 10 by 10. Cancelled out. So, we have here x squared is equal to negative 16. Square root both sides. X squared, x, ito cancel na yan. X equals to positive and negative. Ang 16 is a perfect square, therefore, we have here 4i. Okay? So, we're done with extracting square roots. Hopefully, naintindihan. Kapag meron lang pong negative sa loob ng square root, tsaka ka lang po gagamit ng imaginary numbers. Is it clear? Pero kapag wala siyang negative, as is, wala siyang letter I. So, ang nadagdag lang dito ay si letter I. Pero, same process po of solving. So, hopefully, may naintindihan for this lesson. So, thank you for listening.